Hi, this is Taxi Chronicles and I'm your host, Simon Rushton. Today we have a lovely lady in this car. When I saw her, when you hear her speak, the accent does not match the looks. And that's no disrespect to Scottish people, but the looks is something different. She looks very, very nice. She looked good. Let's just say she looked good. But anyway, Sasha. So how are we today?
Slightly on the hungover side, but we're still alive, so we're good.
Okay. So what do you do? Where are we off today? What do you do for work?
Well, at the moment I work for a nightclub as like a hostess. It's not the best job, but it's making me money, leaving me free during the day to do my singing, which is what I moved to London for.
Okay. So you mentioned you were on is it Xfactor?
Yeah.
Xfactor. Tell us about that. Tell us the story behind how you get on Xfactor, the auditions.
So I was actually scouted for Xfactor. I had a YouTube channel a couple of years ago where I was posting myself singing covers, and my first cover went viral. I think I had 100,000 views in 2 days.
Oh, that's good.
And from that, I then got contacted by one of the scouts for Xfactor that asked me to come to like a local audition, and that it kind of just went from there. So I did like a local audition, and then I think a month later I was in front of the judges at Wembley doing my arena audition.
So let's just go through the process. So you get called for the audition. Is there like hundreds and hundreds of people there?
No, so the way they make it look on TV when there's like hundreds of people lining up in all these queues, that's not how it works. They pick they'll do pre-auditions like online or wherever, and then they'll narrow it down, and there's only like I think it's about 40 people per location. So like 40 people in Scotland, 40 people in Ireland, 40 people in London. So they don't actually audition that many people. Like they'll narrow it down before they let people. Because if they let every single person sing in front of the judges, they would literally be sitting there for months on end. So they kind of pre-pick the good and they get obviously the kind of bad acts there as well. So yeah, they narrow it down prior to you singing in front of the judges.
So would you say they're bad? Because if based on what you're saying there, we shouldn't really see any bad acts, or do they slip in purposely?
Yeah, of course. Like the entire thing, it's not actually a talent show. It's like a reality TV show. It's for entertainment purposes. It's not all about talent. Like I saw and heard some amazingly talented people that weren't even given the chance to audition in front of the judges. So, and then you see like these joke acts that get hours of airtime. It's so frustrating. I kind of worked out very quickly. I was like, I'm not really sure this is the route I want to be going down. But when you're a singer, there's no like easy path in. So you're thinking, okay, great, like I'm gonna get myself in front of Simon Cowell and Nicole Scherzinger and Louis Walsh. Like you just don't know. So I feel like you kind of have to take the opportunity.
Oh, okay, I hear you. That's good. So have you always been interested in singing?
Yeah, pretty much for forever. I mean, I never kind of thought I could pursue it until I did Xfactor. I was a hairdresser before then. I worked for my mum. She's got like a chain of salons in Scotland, so that was like the sensible option. So I did that, and then when I got scouted, just like kind of opportunities kind of came from there after doing Xfactor. So I ended up traveling forward and back from London to Scotland, do music, and then I eventually moved here 2 years ago because I was just traveling back and forth so much.
It's a long journey.
Yeah, 5 hours in the train is not enjoyable every single week. So.
But you're here now. So when you're going back to the Xfactor, you've passed the first stage of auditions on Zoom or however they did it then. What's the next stage? So you're standing there. Is it a whole day affair, or they're hearing your whole songs? Or?
So when I say like I was the last person on my day, so they make you arrive at 6 a.m. Fill in all your paperwork. I brought my mum and dad with me, and I filled in like all the paperwork. Like you wouldn't believe there's page upon page upon page. Like basically saying if you win, Simon Cowell basically takes 50% of your money for the next 4 years. So like you're signing your life away on these papers. Basically signing bits of paper that say they can edit it however they want. So like I know a lot of things I watched on TV didn't happen the way that it was made to look like it did and stuff like that. But anyway, you do that, and then they'll have like a kind of list of who's going when, but you don't really know. So you just have to sit there all day. They make you do like, you know, when you watch like these shows and you see these kind of like weird interviews with like people just like randomly chatting, the cameras just so happen to get it. they mic you up and they'll say, right, you say this to her, ask her about her job or whatever. So you do that all day, and
So what you're saying, correct me if I'm wrong, that everything's kind of scripted.
I wouldn't say per se scripted, but it's very like, you talk to her, you sit there, we're gonna mic you up, and we're gonna walk in, and you sit. It's not scripted, like you kind of say what you want, but they roughly tell you what direction to go. Like most reality shows are kind of like that. But I think I sang at 3 in the morning, and I'd been there since 6 a.m. It was one of the longest days. Like that was just like the first edition, and I mean it's like
20 on your 21st hour, really, isn't it?
I was so tired. I actually was like, I don't even know if this is worth it at this point. But then as soon as I was going to go, and then a lot of the people that were supposed to sing that day as well were told to come back another day. And so many of these people had like travelled from like Manchester or like other places where they weren't doing auditions. So it was a stressful day. I was just happy I got to sing when I did.
Did you get to sing the whole song?
I think I managed to sing maybe like 3/4 of the song, and then Simon asked me to stop and then asked me to sing it without the backing track. And I did something a little bit out of the box. They don't let you pick any song. You have to clear the songs you want to do with them. So like what I wanted to do, I wasn't allowed to. They didn't give me clearance for it. So I ended up doing like weirdly, which is so not my sound, but I did like a really like different version of a song from Moulin Rouge, the musical. Not my usual stuff, but like they just want something that stands out, that's different. So it went down really well.
Okay.
And yeah, I was pretty happy with how I did. So
that's good. And then you said you didn't get picked for. You didn't win.
No.
Where
so
did
I
you
dropped
come?
out.
Are you dropped out?
Yeah.
Or
So.
You dropped out, or they just said don't?
No, I dropped out. So I'm a bit of not a drama queen, but like I just know what I do and don't want to do, and I'm not a dancer. And we went. So after you do your first stage, sometimes they do like a second edition, but we didn't on our series. We went straight to boot camp. So they flew us all to London, put us up in a hotel for a week, did all these various singing tasks and whatever. They put us in a group. We had to do like a group song, so that went fine. I had 2 really nice guys in my group. And then the day after that, we all thought it was done. They said we're doing a dance challenge, and I was like, fuck, can't dance, don't want to dance. And every other girl was like a trained dancer. I thought this is typical. So I came to the dance challenge, and I thought, okay, let me just like go along and see what happens. And these 2 choreographers came on and did like the world's most complicated choreography. Showed us it literally. They did it twice, and they were like, right, in an hour you're performing it for like an audience and the judges, and it's going to be filmed. And I was like, I called my mum and I said, Mum, I'm not doing it. I said, I'd rather walk away with my head held high, take the kind of experience for what it was, rather than be embarrassed for the rest of my life looking like that knob, excuse my language, at the back that's like trying to catch up with everyone else, and I'd rather just have not done it than done it and look like an idiot. So yeah, I left, and that was as far as I got.
How did they take you leaving?
They were like, no, like just give it a chance and blah blah blah, and like they'd rather see you try than not. And look at Zayn Malik, when Zayn didn't want to dance, he came back on, now he's in One Direction, and I said I really don't care, like I'd just rather not do it. And then I went back to the hotel, got my stuff, and then I got the train home.
So it's a risk that later on it's a risk that they could actually present you in a negative light.
Yeah, they were chasing me with cameras when I said I'm not doing it, and I said literally I'm taking my microphone off and I'm just going to sit in the bathroom, like you're not going to get footage of me looking like a brat. I'm just not doing it. So yeah, I did. I actually sat in the bathroom for 2.5 hours. They were standing outside. I was lucky because I actually.
So they're really trying
to. Drama, like they were running after me with like wireless cameras, and I'm like, I'm not gonna do anything. I'm not gonna like scream or cry. I'm just over it. It's just not for me. So.
You sat in the bathroom for 2.5 hours. That's actually says a lot about that show, though.
Yeah, the whole thing's. It's not about talent. If it was about talent, they wouldn't waste time with all these stupid acts that are blatantly bad that think they're good. And I mean, some people like go on, they know they're kind of shit and they're just going on for fun, but there's some people that genuinely do believe they're actually good, and the show are like, listen, like we love what you're doing, like we really think you could do well, like.
So in essence, they could make, or somebody could make a real a real sing or whatever audition show where it's
The Voice
people.
is like that. The Voice, funnily enough, The Voice is owned by the same company that owns the X Factor, but The Voice don't do like bad acts. They only put on like decent. I've been scouted for The Voice as well, but I just don't think it has as much influences X Factor. Like X Factor's proven to have like Little Mix, One Direction, like people can do really well from it. Whereas with The Voice, like it's good and it's definitely more about the actual singing and not about like reality TV. But it's I don't know anyone from it other than like maybe one or two people that have done like quite well, but they're not like on the same level as you know the people that have done X Factor. So
Okay, I hear you. Well, what do you take away from all of that?
I'm glad I did it still. I wouldn't put it down as a good experience. I didn't enjoy any of it really, but glad I did it because I feel like as a singer it's one of those shows that you always would think, I wonder what would happen if I did do that. So on the whole, I'm glad I did it and it was an experience and I met some great people doing it, but not something I would do again if I was asked. But in fact, recently in lockdown, they're doing like The Voice. I was asked to go on that show again, but yeah, not something I think I'd do. I think I'd maybe steer clear.
So The Voice has asked you to go on the show.
They asked me to audition. Like there's never a guarantee. They're just kind of selecting you because they think you're good and they want you to audition. But no.
Okay, so you're a lady who knows what you want.
For sure.
So singing wise, where's your future going then?
So I'm just about to release my first single in 4 weeks. It's called Something We'll Regret. And I've been working so hard, like for years I've been trying to find like songs and write songs for myself that I really like and I feel like it's the right sound. And yeah, really happy with what I've got at the moment. I've got my second single lined up after that, so that'll be around 6 weeks after the first release.
Okay.
So that'll be out on like Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, Deezer, all of the platforms.
So is it only the winner who has to sign to Simon Cowell?
Yeah.
So everybody else is free to go. So you're better off going all the way.
Not quite winning.
And then just becoming the second best.
Yeah. Just using the platform and not being actually tied down to his label.
So if you get voted as the competition between the two, then at the last minute you go, sorry, I quit. This is not for me.
Yeah, that's a smart thing to do.
Simon Cowell will be pulling his hair out. I'm gonna
Exactly.
ban you, block you, blacklist you, everything.
He's a smart guy though. I mean, he knows how to make money, clearly.
Yeah, that sounds a bit harsh, or a bit strong, I should say, 50%. But then he's taking people from
nothing to everything.
Yeah, in so many things. So these albums, if people want to find you, how can they find you?
So my name is Sasha, and it's just SACHA, all capitals, and that'll be my artist name on Spotify. And the song's called Something We'll Regret. So if you just typed in Sasha, Something We'll Regret, it'll come up.
And that's all on Insta.
Yep, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, everything. But the best place you'll probably go is Spotify. That's kind of where I'm focusing my energy on.
Okay, that's good. Well, I'm happy for what you're achieving. That's the thing. How have you found living in London in comparison to?
Very different. I mean, it's like I traveled a lot to London, so it wasn't like I had no idea what I was kind of getting myself in for. But I lived in like a very, very small town where everyone knew everyone. It's just very sheltered. Not a lot goes on. We've got one nightclub in the entire place I live. I've had like the same friends since I was like born up until that. It's just very different to here, where like I can go about my daily routine and never see the same people twice here. Like it's just a whole different thing. But I mean, for someone young, I feel like you've got to live in London. Like I didn't want to waste my like best years being stuck in a small town where nothing happens. Like especially for music as well. This is where like all the good producers are, all the good like songwriters are, and this is where you need to be if you want to be doing your music, for sure.
I bumped into quite a few music people, and I've done some very good interviews with people who've actually done stuff with Jay-Z, Beyonce, all these kind of people. I'll tell you what episodes what the name of the episodes that they spoke. So you may be able to get in contact with them to send them your thing in that respect. So your friends up north, do they come down and see you?
No, I tend to go back quite a lot. Like I get homesick so easily. Like I just love being around my mum, my dad, and my dog. So I go back every like month or so. I was only there 2 weeks ago, and I'm already going back for a couple of days to visit. So
But surely, if your friends come down, surely your friends would want to come down and see what it's like.
Do you know what? I feel like it's so strange. Like the town I'm from, people kind of just like to. They like their little bubble. Like
okay.
No one tends to really leave the town I'm from. Like there's very few people that have like moved away. People kind of just live and die and have a family there. But
how do they feel about you coming down then?
Really supportive. I don't think anyone. I don't think this is something they would really want to do. So it's not like it's something like they would want to do but they couldn't or whatever. I just feel like everyone's kind of, they like the kind of more simpler life, I guess. Whereas I just wanted something like so far away from that. My mum also grew. My mum travelled loads. She left home when she was 15 or 16 and moved to London with like nothing, no money, anything, to do hairdressing. So
and then
she told me like,
empire.
yeah, you've always got to like push out from.
So that's where you get it from then.
Yeah, she really if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have come here. She really encouraged me to.
Oh, that's great.
She also said you can come home, which is so true if you don't like it.
What's your old man do?
He works with my mum as well, so they opened the salons together. My dad does all like the business side, and my mum does the actual hair.
So great teamwork then.
Yeah.
That's good.
Married for like 30 plus years and working together. I think they're doing all right. So.
Yeah, damn. Lockdown would hold nothing on them.
Yeah.
So I know we spoke about it a bit before, but lockdown comparison to London, Scotland, how was it?
I feel like people are taking it really seriously in Scotland, and I feel like here it's like nothing's going on. Yeah. So definitely felt safer in Scotland.
Yeah. I suppose it's. I always say it's because you don't see anybody die in the street.
Yeah.
Because everybody conveniently dies in a hospital bed. Then people are like, yeah, really? Nah, not interested.
Yeah.
And the young especially don't care. And if it comes to the thing about paying your bills, then you're like, yeah, well, I'll get out there and do what I have to do in that respect of things.
Exactly.
Yeah. But that's been a great interview.
Thank you for your time.
Thanks a lot. For the listeners out there, I hope you liked it. An insight into the behind the scenes of Xfactor, which I've never watched the show before, but I've heard of it, and I'm sure there's many people out there who have heard about it. So you may be able to dig deep and find Sasha on that past episode, but be sure to listen to her latest, her new and first, and not only single yet to come out. Excuse me, a bit fumbling here. On another note, don't forget to listen to our sister podcast, Africa Investor Stories, all about real investors with real stories sharing their experience of investor in Africa and why, considering Africa has the fastest growing economies on the planet and has done for many years and probably will do for many more years to come. Very interesting stories of all kind. Apart from that, stay safe and bye.